You are welcome to the Urbane Bloke Experience podcast.
For someone who's just tuned into this podcast right now, maybe they're on their way to work or they are going to the gym, whatever they are doing, why is it important for them to listen to this particular podcast, this episode?
Yeah, so I think identity is what we live for, knowing what we stand for as individuals. And I think people would get invaluable knowledge from this conversation today, identifying, what, having that distinct personality, becoming that person. Like for me, I always say, like, find your own unique voice and raw. So as an individual, you need to have your own identity. Don't be a photocopy of another. Because in the world we live in today, a lot of people just want to be like that or saying who has made it. They want to be a replica of a replica of a replica. But why not just be that distinct person? So I think identity in today's world is a conversation to have. And I believe that the listeners will not take away from this as well.
I've gone through some of your work, and I have to say it's also, honestly,
Thank you.
it's different emotions. Like, and you could tell the intentionality that goes into each project.
Yeah.
So, if you were to introduce yourself, how would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I would say I'm a lion who found his own voice by being unique, trying not to join the bandwagon, doing things my way. And I am a very passionate person. I am a writer writing the genres of poetry, essays, short stories, and children's literature. I think the recipe for my own success was just I tried to do things my own way. Not, I was someone who did not have to, I didn't have gatekeepers. I didn't have people who kind of like individuals who kind of like paved the way for me. I have to like build up because I believe like to become successful, you do not really have to wait for people to like create those opportunities for you. What can you do for yourself? What opportunities can you create? So I think personally, I was able to build up from the ground, not just by doing things my own way.
Why did you choose lion? Why is that the animal you decide to attach your brand with?
I would say I could ascribe it to just pure coincidence and coincidence, not really coincidence, but maybe just, yeah, my first poetry collection was titled Dead Lion Stone Raw.
Okay.
And I would find myself going out to perform,
I've seen a couple of your videos. The first thing, can I get a raw?
Yeah, everybody's roaring, and it just became like a kind of tradition. People see me roar, and oh, the lion is there, the lion is there. Even before I even urged the crowd to roar, in some places they're already roaring, like because that was like the kind of expectation. So I think maybe that book really helped me, that book title. So I think intentionality when choosing titles for your project is like you have to be very intentional because that has like now given me this symbolism, this name, the Lion of Newcastle. Yeah, the guy who likes to roar and who started in Newcastle, published my Facebook in Newcastle, and every of my books, my projects have been published in Newcastle. Yeah, so and it's been like a beautiful marriage, or let me call it beautiful marriage with Tolutoludo and his journey into Newcastle as well.
So you notice that you have a writing skill.
Yeah.
You notice that you can put words together and all of that. Did you get to a point where you felt like, okay, let me try and make a living out of this. Let me make this my brand. Let me make this about myself. People could still have
Yeah.
that ability and channel it into something else.
Yeah.
They might still see it as something that they can do casually as a hobby or something that, okay, you know what, I can write. It's just there. It's just an addition things I can do.
I think for me at the time I started like writing, I never even knew I would someday become a published author. I was just writing and writing and writing, documenting my own stories. And I think today I always say that documentation is very important to avoid erasure. The stories you do not tell become forgotten because they were never written down, they were never documented. Yeah, so at the time, I never knew that someday I would become a published author. I was just writing for the love of writing. I was passionate about writing. And when I started working within the UK financial services sector in 2012, I didn't want them to know that I was a writer. So I was kind of just like still writing like low key. So I didn't want to write like, oh, I don't want people to know because I was just scared that, oh, if this will find out that I am a writer, it might limit my opportunities in the workplace. But I worked in some other financial institutions where I used to like write, like in Manchester, I used to write at Wise Words of the Week. And from then I came to Newcastle in 2016. And I just found this amazing. Before then, I think my first poems were written like around 2010. Then I've been writing, I have written a lot of essays at that point in time, like maybe about 200, 300 essays that I had written. So I had that already ready, for my blog and everything. Then I now decided to publish my first poetry collection, then Lion Row in 2017. Because when I arrived in the Northeast, I started going out to perform. And that was my first experience of going out to actually perform the work I had written down. I used to go to like scratch workshops where I would meet other writers within like Newcastle and the Northeast environment as well. So we would, give each other feedback, read our work aloud. So I found that there was this fantastic community in Newcastle. So in the one of the poems I wrote, I said, community of writers sheltered me, the days and nights were forlorn. Poetry was the anthem my soul dances to. And I was admonishing other writers as well that I hope they will also find their home in Newcastle. I hope you find a place as beautiful as Newcastle, a place as awesome as Newcastle as well. So for me, it was just, when I came into Newcastle and I said, okay, now it's time. You've done all the writing for many years. This is the appointed time for the Son of Man to roar.
I like that. This is the time. You heard the voice, you heard the call, right? This is the time. Do it. Now let's go back to you coming out the first time you perform your work and the confidence it took for you to say, this is my work and I want to share it with the world.
Yeah.
What was it like? What was your confidence level like? What did you have to do? How did you overcome it? And also, if anybody's listening right now that wants to get into something and the only thing limiting them is self-confidence, how did they get over it?
Yeah, I would say, I still remember my first performance vividly. It was at the exchange in North Shields.
Was it also?
Yeah, it was good. I started because I have the video on YouTube. Yeah, so just to always remember the pivotal. Yeah, so first performance to like a neutral audience that was like outside the work and none of that. Yeah, so I think that was my first major performance. Was on an open mic. Yeah, so I was confident that when I was stage, I did my thing. The audience cheered me on, and that was lovely. And I think for anyone who would like to go out to perform, to share their work with a crowd, just be you, be you. Like I think for me, uh, when I go on stage and I just roar, and even people come to talk to me from other races to say like, oh, we love your self confidence. Even there are people that even gain that confidence from me, like they'll be like, oh, thank you so much. Now I'm learning to become more confident from the way we see you go up there, you roar, you carry the crowd along, the energy, your performance. So I think it's just to be yourself.
Here's the question I'm trying to ask is, what is the spice? Because it's thinking about it. Have you had experience with public speaking before? I am telling you from my personal experience, it takes a lot for someone to say, okay, I'm just going to be myself. First off, even me myself, I'm not sure I have enough confidence.
Yeah.
Now to say is front of people.
Yeah.
and still try to be myself and be
Yeah.
grounded in it and be
Yeah.
confident in it, it sounds like a lot. So I guess that's the advice of yes, just be yourself. But what does that look like? What does it mean to actually be myself?
Yes. So yeah, I've had experience with public speaking before, like many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that could count for something. But
That's
also,
definitely so. It's a lot.
yeah. But also remember, I used to be an introvert, being introverted, and just like to like recluse myself from people. But I think what would work for someone who wants to go out there to talk to people, just find an icebreaker. Just try and be ahead of the crowd, and just tell maybe if your name starts with A, do something. If your name starts with the letter B, do something. If your name starts, so just maybe just get them engaged. Like the way I would go and say, "Oh, can I be allowed to roll like a lion?" Even if I was timid or if anything, by the time even I go to like a different country, I get people to roar. Like even not the UK now, I perform in Italy, I perform in France. Like even if I go anywhere, once they finish roaring, I don't know you before, but now everybody's happy. They are all like,
Honestly,
everybody's hyper.
It's very intelligent
Yeah.
and it's very, very. There's something about the rhyme.
Yeah.
Because the first time I experienced it and I
Yeah.
watched you, and at first it's a bit. Why are we doing raw?
Mhm.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
But then you go again like, can I hear a loud raw? So, and you see people picking up on
Yeah.
it and getting into it, like getting comfortable. That is impressive.
Yeah.
Was it something that was intentional, or you just thought like this is going to be my icebreaker?
Yeah. I felt even with the book Tattoo the Lions Don't Roll, I felt that just made it easy. Like, oh, since the last I got Lion of Newcastle there, anytime we go out. Then I've had instances because I have the other book, Dead Dogs Don't Bark. So at the point I used to do, oh, let the dogs out. Whoa! I have those sort of videos as well. And I have a loud meow, like a
Really?
meow, with dead cats don't meow as well. People are meowing. And I feel like, yeah, at times when you tell people to roar, some will be like I just find like, oh, maybe some people will feel like, oh, is this guy okay? And like that. But as a creative, you are allowed to be unconventional in some sort of way. You are allowed not to be okay. Like the word I've been to some places, maybe some folks who like, well, I mean, this guy's supposed to be like, yeah, about limbs. Is he
Like, is everything okay?
Is everything okay upstairs? But I think the white audience, I think they are more like
into it.
like they are more receptive. Like they are ready to lift up their chairs because maybe everyone's already drunk, or like maybe they're all drunk, or a lot of them are drunk, and they are in anything just to lift up the energy in the room.
Level,
Everybody just, and I think as a creative, just find something unique, something different. Like as a performer, you go on stage, you see maybe hundreds of people in the crowd, or thousands of people, or hundreds of thousands of people. What can you do to just, without drinking alcohol or anything? So personally, I'm already hyper. I don't need to drink. Even if I have to drink, then I'm even making it worse because I'm losing control.
True,
But without drinking, I just go to the, can I have a loud roll? Look at everybody's rolling, everybody's ginger. They're all hyper. But then the performance comes in, then it just flows. Like, I'm not scared of anything anymore. Honestly. But yeah, so I find that with the roaring, it's a bit like, it makes things really easy. And the crowd, people just warm up to me. I feel like, oh, wow, that performance was fire and everything.
That's so interesting, honestly. And again, so impressive. I need to find that nice icebreaker for myself.
Find your own. Find your own.
If you are listening, find your icebreaker, man.
Find your own.
That's our day we show.
Not just your icebreaker. Find your own unique rock. Find something unique to you. And I remember when I went to perform in Manchester, the guy came up to me and he was like, "Well, I'm going to start replicating the role now to. I'm not like your pop. I'm not like your cob. It's a cob now." And he was going to see other people like other places getting into it to be like, oh, Tolu is the blueprint and we are just his followers and we're ready to replicate same as well. Yeah, so
and how do you feel when you experience things like that, or they share things like that with you?
Yeah, it makes me like really happy. Like I've a lot of people, even like poets, writers, performers, have walked up to me to say, "Oh, you inspired my confidence in a great way. Just seeing you up there, being confident, like a black man in the white space. Yeah,
Come in,
controlling us like this, do this, do that, roll. Oh, me out back. That's a God level type of confidence. Yes, so and I encourage you all to be confident. Just carry yourself with grace, have that charisma. Don't be afraid. Like just walk to the stage, lift your shoulders up. If you have to look above everyone's head, just to be on that pedestal, yeah. And I see myself as a God in a human body. As creatives, we are gods. For you to create what is not it's not ordinary. We bring things to life out of nothing. Yeah. So I see it as a God level sort of thing, being a creative as well.
I like how you've touched on identity. You touched on self-confidence, confidence generally,
Yeah.
and how people have come up and share how you influence them, how you impacted them. How have you been able to not let the attention get too much in your head? That
Yeah. So for me, I'll say basically not looking like doing it for validation, but like for external validation. I think for me, I create work for posterity's sake. So I don't create work to like get people's validation. I don't do it for likes. I don't do it for like shares. I don't even want anyone to. I just feel like in years to come, in decades to come, for creatives, it will be about maybe your body of work, what you did, why you were on the scene. When we talk about the achievements of this world, the achievers, we are talking about them based on the merit of their work, not how many followers they have in their lifetime. How many, we don't look all those things now become like secondary.
yes,
Nobody will be asking you how many followers, or do you have
yeah.
social media, how many controversies to get into. It will be more about the merit of your work, how your work shaped the literary discourse of your time. So as a writer, as a creative, as someone who has been on the scene for a very long time, I don't try to, pass off my work looking for attention or validation. I don't let social media determine, or if someone praises me today, or because if you live by social media, then I think the problem is that when you get the praise, it enters into your head. When you don't get the praise or you get little praise, you feel down. So because the social media is not real life, I try to live my life outside of the space as well.
Right.
It's very important for us as creatives to experience life beyond the social space. Live your life beyond, like just live offline. Yeah, do things offline, keep the gadgets away, and just experience what it means to live. So for me, I think it's very important. As a creative who is doing the work for posterity's sake, not just for today, not just for today's validations, not for the fleeting likes. Very, very important that I see beyond the validation. It doesn't even get into me, but I am happy my work is getting to a recognition, getting to a global audience as well. Because for some people, they just want like, oh, their friends, people they know, to review their work, to talk about their work in glowing lights. But can you allow that work to be critiqued by, can you get like, if you want literary acclaim beyond that circle, then you must open yourself up for criticism as well. So for me, it's not just about the validation, but yeah, I'm happy to be criticized where, to be criticized. I'm happy for my work to be talked about either in a good or a bad way. It doesn't matter. But I'm not doing it for the validation. I'm just doing it, because I'm creating work that will definitely outlast me as well.
That's an awesome mindset to have. You touched on putting the gadget away,
Yeah.
right? Which is, I think, it's a struggle for everybody.
Yeah. It is.
I'm not gonna lie. I am definitely struggling with it too.
Yeah.
Because number one, as a creative,
Yeah.
there is, for me, I feel like I like to see what other people are doing.
Yeah.
So it can inspire,
Yeah.
give me a different direction
Yeah.
and all of that, and say like, oh, okay, I can try this way to get motivation from it too. But also, I know the negative impact it gets
Yeah.
when you are overly invested and carried away
Yeah.
with it. So, how easy is it to actually put the gadget away? And in this space, I want you to think about it. Like, for you to put gadgets away, that means you're living the life and somehow you're putting in some silence
Yeah.
to your life,
Yeah.
and which would eventually help you with your self-discovery, self-awareness, and form your identity, right? How easy is it to actually tone down the noise and go inside? And is it necessary that you need silence for self-awareness?
Yeah, so I know it's not easy because it's a world where everybody just wants to be on screen, they want to be seen. People want that like sort of validation from, some people, their breakfast. Oh, I'm eating this. Lunch, I'm eating this. I'm wearing this. Oh, I went to, people just want everything out. But for me, I feel like it's also important to like just tone it down, create meaningful, conversations, have meaningful relationships. Can we just talk? Like beyond, like you see some, like maybe couples, everyone they are both together, everyone is on their gadget, on their screen, like 24/7. That connection isn't there.
It's not there. And is it just phone, or are there other things in life too that could be grabbing your attention and discouraging you from actually going inside in depth and finding yourself?
Yeah, so for me, I think it wouldn't just be phone, but anything that would be like a form of distraction. As a writer, to create work, for me, I need solitude. I need a place of tranquility as well. I need that space, that silence as well. So when you are creating, some people love to create maybe with some soft music in the background. Some people create with maybe loud music in the background, when you still need like maybe a quiet environment. But at times, even ideas can come from anywhere. You could be outdoor, you could be driving, you could be on the bus, you could be anywhere, and ideas come. Yeah, so but I think anything that would just be like a form of distraction. But I think the main talking point or the main point from from that discussion point is that we should just try to live a bit, because the way the world is going today, they we are more like tools. So I think I've written some poems around that, around us being like, we are our data is being mined. We are like tools in the hands of all these digital companies. That's why you open your bank app, they already know everything about you. You go on Google, you are being tracked. They are tracking our every move. But when you're offline, nobody gets to track you. So I think that's the only space where we are kind of like safe. So that's why I kind of like advocate for people to just go offline a bit and breathe. If you don't go on Instagram, like maybe for 30 minutes, even with your own challenge a day, or go on socials for 30 minutes a day, maybe it's a great place to start, just to just think about other things you can do, not just going on socials all the time. And yeah, I know a lot of things happen today on the social space, but can we just forge some meaningful relationships, have meaningful conversations with our loved ones, and just outside of that space, and we just have, yeah, it's good to go on there, like get inspiration for your work, but can I just get a book and read for 30 minutes? Can I just do other things as well? That would not just be, so I think it's doable. It's just more about consistency and being focused. Like whatever you set your heart to do, that's the difference between people who make a success of life and those who do not. Just be consistent. If you want to do something, just go for it. Just do it. Just go on out for it.
For you, what is the representation of success?
So success for me will be having a goal, and even if you've not fully achieved that goal, but taking steps towards that. Like if like I have a goal to achieve something and I'm working towards it, for me, that's the first step to success. And when you don't achieve it, you can say, yeah, I'm successful at that. Or even the fact that you are starting, you're not just saying, oh, because many people will say, oh, this is my goal. I want to do this, I want to do that, but they keep procrastinating. But the fact that you've taken that first step towards that goal, then you're on your way to becoming successful. And once you achieve that goal, then yeah, I would say for me that we can measure that as being successful. But starting that first for me, I will give you your prop to say, yeah, well done, even if you do not even achieve it. Yeah, the fact that you can start, then and I always tell people start anyhow. You want to do something, start with what you have. Don't wait for perfect conditions because most times in life people just want to like wait for the perfect thing. I need to plant, it must rain. But why not go and plant and see if the rain will not fall? So for me, I always say start with what you have, start anyhow. Because for me, when I started, I just started with one book, like just one book. And today 23 books. Just started anyhow. I didn't have any plans to like write more books. It wasn't the plan. But I just started.
Right. And you mentioned before we started this podcast that you and your, I don't know if it's out yet, you and your son.
Yeah, my kids.
Yeah. Oh, both of them. I thought it was
Yeah.
just your son.
Family business.
Oh, wow. So you guys wrote a book together.
Yeah, Introduce bouquet.
Yeah. How was that experience for you?
It was good because I've been encouraging them to write for a bit here, so and they've been writing their own individual books. So it's just for us to come together as a family unit. Now, my son was already asking me about the reality split. Are we going to share the
Is
reality?
he getting all the reality?
That they will get some split, yes. So when I told him the split, so like,
But that's too small.
that's too small. I said, guy, I'll give you 25%. He's like, we wanted more, but yes, so but yes, it's good. It shows like I've done a lot of work with them in terms of I've been creating that reading environment, reading culture, and they are also proud, of the work I've done, of my achievements. My daughter says I'm her favorite author in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, and my son also, there was a time he all wanted to become was an author as well. So I've always been that inspirational figure to them both as well. Yeah, so say that project is coming to life, and yeah, the book title is Amanda the Bookworm.
Oh,
Yeah, Amanda the Bookworm, and it's just a way to present reading in a good way as well to encourage the upcoming generation that in this world of artificial intelligence, can we just promote bookworms? Can we promote our young people, our children, our kids with natural intelligence? Can they have their own moments in the sun as well? So I think that would be a fantastic book for parents, for young people to read, and
oh, that sounds actually, that's amazing. It didn't even sound, it is amazing, honestly.
so
And I think you should give yourself a lot more credit too. This is a proper proud dad moment for you. Like, yes, there's not a lot of people, there aren't a lot of people that would be able to say they had that kind of collaboration
yeah,
and worked with their kids
Yeah.
to build something like that or produce something like that.
Yeah.
So I noticed you write for kids.
yeah.
What inspired that?
I used to see myself as this wise head, this wise person, like I first of all wanted to do stuff similar like the fables of Aesop. So just saw myself as someone who has seen the world through like Solomon in this sort of generation who could like admonish people, young people. So yeah, so that sort of thing. So I saw myself as like an inspirational figure as well. So that really encouraged me that I wanted to put out work for young people, but I also wanted work that would be meaningful and impactful as well. And especially for people in our community, black young children, helping them to build on their self-confidence as well. When the lion goes on stage, is roaring. Can we have more young people also growing up with their own, wearing their own self-confidence like a second skin? So I wrote a a children's literature book titled that wear self-confidence like a second skin for black children that are being labeled as troublemakers in their schools. I wrote I am not a troublemaker. And this other title, if you have to be anything, be kind as well. I wrote that for just if you have to be anything in life, be kind as a young child. Because before someone grows up to become like a racist, with homophobic and all of that, if we start building them up with the values of kindness from the home front. Then that becomes a value that they get to live with for the rest of their lives. So I just wanted books that will help to shape society in the right way. And when you look at when I wrote that if you have to be kind, even on the football pitch, my friends will like kind of like go after play football, be like, Tolu, please that tackle isn't too nice. Remember your book time too. If you have to be anything is time. So that shows us the message that
with your tackles too.
the guy with your tackles. So that goes to show that kindness is the universal language, same as love, that it applies to all of us. If we have to be anything in our day-to-day lives, let's choose kindness over anything else. Yeah. So I saw myself as someone who was really wise. When I do interviews like this, conversations like this, people I get that sort of feedback like, oh, that was really good, This one. But so I always say like, oh yeah, it looks like I got something off this. Yes.
You clearly do, to be fair. So
Yeah, so I think that's just what inspired me. Like, okay, I could also write books that young people, parents would, and also like a poetry collection for young people as well. You Read More Than Dreams, where I addressed issues around knife crime, gang violence, young people, just the issues that young teenagers experience because at that age they are not sure. You can train a child as a parent, but the world they live in, there's a lot of violence, there's gang culture, like young people are stabbing each other. And as a parent, there's only much you can do. So I know that collection of poetry from young people, you need more than dreams. And that's just telling them that they need more than dreams to make their dream come true. And also I wrote a poem on social media. They should be aware of all the things they see on social media. You shouldn't be influenced by all of that. Because we've seen, like even in the UK, those rise in suicide amongst young people based on the use of social media overall. And that's where what we talked about anyhow. So it's very important as well. That, just go offline. Don't be too immersed. Don't let your life be about like even my kids when they come to me for screen, I'm like, okay, just go offline, go and breathe, go and just play. Come
so
back.
you take their gadgets away or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. So just give them maybe, or you can use your tab for a couple of hours, then go offline, come back for your lessons on Duolingo, German, French, Italian, Spanish. Yeah, so just come back, play chess, go and play the piano, go and learn the keys, come back, So just get them engaged to do other activities as well. Otherwise, if it becomes too immersive, then it's really like they don't want to do anything else. When kids are just all about gadgets. Yeah, so I think you need more than dreams as well. Like the reception has been really good to that as well. Parents, especially in this country where there's a lot of like the kids need extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the books they've been really well received because that extra could just be in a book. Your kid is suffering from self confidence. Get them this book. Teach them the values of kindness. Get them if you have to be anything, be kind. If they are growing up teenagers, just help the kids, get them reading, get them to just do things outside of social media. So for me, I think that's amazing.
Oh, thank you, man. That was beautiful. Man. Let me go a bit personal.
Yeah.
Right, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's alright. Let's wait.
Let me get a bit personal. So, you're a father of two, right?
Yeah.
As a father, are there things that you've clocked or you've noticed, probably not from you, that parents unintentionally
Yeah.
they feed their children and it's not particularly good for them?
Yeah. I noticed like for when I was growing up, our own parents, the generation before, they always wanted their children to become. They say, "Oh, I want my son to become a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant," and they would like compare you to other people's children to say, "Oh, Mr. Lagbaja's son is now a doctor. This is this," not knowing the distinct peculiarities of each individual child and letting them to find themselves and become who they truly want to become. So for me as a parent now, I think I've learned from that and just let the children like just find themselves academically, not being, they are really good, like exceptional students academically, but not even if they were not exceptional. Because for me, like, I think through not at university, like that was when I now like had like really good results, like in
Really?
level year. So
I would have thought that you were a bookworm
yeah,
growing
so
up.
yeah, I was a bookworm, but academically I wasn't like top of the class in that sort of way. So
Right.
so for me, I wouldn't be a parent who will be judging a child to say if you're not exceptional. I wouldn't. I don't think it will determine your life outcomes, at least based on from my own personal experience
Right.
of although along the line, like even in the career professional level, I now kind of found the sort of secrets that could like make you to stand out, and which was for me get staying ahead of the curve by just preparing before the opportunities came. So in my professional level, I remember as far back as 2013, 14, I had all the certifications in change management, in business analysis, in project management, in ITO. And when I was fully within the financial services sector, I had like level 3 award in combating financial crime. I had the CAMS, that's the Certified Anti-Money Laundering Certification exams, and later on I had the advanced CAMS examination. So for me, I feel like, yeah, be understanding that to stay ahead of the curve in like your pursuit of success, you must always be ready. So if they say, oh, anyone with advanced CAMS here, I'll lose up my hand. Anyone with that, I'm ready. So, but with parenting, I'm not the sort of parent who will be judging a child to say, oh, you are not here. And I remember there was this personal experience where my dad was like, oh, Tolu, my grandson, which is my son, will be going to Oxford. And I was like telling my dad that that's the university I really want him to go to. And I was telling my dad, I know that it's not going to work that way because he will be the one to determine.
Relax with your son.
Yeah.
Let him decide that he wants to go to Oxford,
Yeah. So I know, yeah, you really love your grandson too, and that's a fantasy or something you really. We know our parents growing up, all of their on-field
they want to live
fantasies.
through their kid.
Yeah. So now I saw that it was a way of wanting to live through the grandkid. I'm like, oh no, that will not work because we don't want. Even as a father, I don't want to dictate to my son like what it really is good with the keyboard. He's excellent. Our mathematics is a genius, but I want him to find himself.
Right.
I don't want to be the sort of dad that will be like, oh, do this, do that. I want him to be able to like do like for me. I'm the sort of person who I can be at a job, and if I'm not feeling it, I can leave.
Right.
I want my children to be that sort of person as well, people that can leave whatever they do not derive joy with. I don't like just live your life. Don't live on like the standards that others would want you to live by here. So as a parent, and for parenting, yeah, I see a lot of that do happen. Like parents projecting their own fears, their own insecurities of the kids, written poems around, as a parent to a girl child, if your daughter sits and doesn't sit well, even with poetry that I've done, like, oh, you tell the child to close your legs because you don't want, all of those. So all of those insecurities, parents have a lot of fears, surrounding their children, as they grow up, and most times the fears they could be nothing. It could just be projecting your own fears on them. So it's just about being intentional as parents, or the sort of. But to be fair, there are a lot of genuine concerns as well. You need to shape them in the right way so that they don't fall, because there are a lot of distractions in the world today. There's peer pressure, a lot of issues that young people could, face, social media. There are a lot of things that do affect them mentally, psychologically, and it's just, communicating with them, understanding what they are going through, and helping them in ways best possible. Not just by projecting your own fears on them, not by comparing them to other children,
Right.
but just letting them fly, allowing them to become who they want to be.
your daughter, is she closer to you or the mom?
I would say, well, she gushes a lot about me. Oh, Dad, I love you. I think she loves us, but she's really close. She's quite close to me as well. Yeah, like she all the time she's like, "Oh, Daddy, I love you so much." I'm like, at this age, she's just so expressive. I'm like, there's just not even too much like this. This sort of love that she's giving me, even my partner is not giving me this sort of, "Oh, Daddy, love you." She just kind of say, "Oh, yeah." So, but from my own experience, like I love the girl child.
Right.
Like I think they are just they are more humane, they are more thoughtful, and you know, they tend not to like forsake their parents like as a group as
Really?
well. Yeah. So for me, I feel like not generalizing, but I
Right.
think the girl child like they are just like from my own experience so
Correct.
far.
Right.
Yeah, they are just everything.
And do you what are you most maybe not scared, worried about with your daughter right now? Maybe like future wise or presently now. What is the most concerning thing?
Yeah, I think maybe yeah, I think she's quite brilliant, exceptional. I think maybe the only thing that will be concerning is that, these children of nowadays, they kind of, you know, maybe at times just talk without the full awareness of the import of their words. So for me, I think it's just maybe growing more in that cultural mindset, not like just helping them to be aware of like just growing more into their own culture as well, so that where elders deserve more respect to be accorded, they show those sort of examples. Still not They should not be oblivious of their own Nigerian heritage and culture.
You earlier mentioned something about kindness.
Yeah.
Um, how do you draw the good boundary and maintain kindness? At what point do you stop that? Okay, this is not kindness anymore. This is me being a weakling.
Yeah.
And how do you preach navigating that?
Yeah, so I think that's a very pertinent point that you raised, and that was one of the subject areas that I addressed within the book as well. The children's book. If you have to be anything, be kind. Setting clear and healthy boundaries is very, very important. So it's not just about being kind, because when you are kind to people, some people do not understand they don't value that kindness, they don't appreciate it, and they will take it for granted. So it's just understanding that even in your kindness, don't allow people to take your kindness for stupidity and not taking it for granted. Yeah, so it's just by, like I mentioned, setting clear and healthy boundaries. So knowing the limits, what can you allow and where do you draw the line? So I think it's very important to everyone out there as well in being kind. Don't allow others to take that for granted. And the only way you can do that is by setting clear boundaries.
Oh,
So that when anyone oversteps, then you can call
let
them.
them
Yeah,
know.
you can let them know, oh,
Yeah.
sorry, this is not right. Sorry, I do not allow this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So otherwise, people will take that.
Yeah, just walk on you.
Yeah, they just walk on you or step on you or take it for granted.
Yeah. And you actually setting clear boundaries, it also you being kind to yourself.
Yeah.
So you're not just being kind to other people,
Yeah, be
you
kind
need
to
to be
yourself.
kind to yourself too. Would you say reading is the only almost effective way of education?
There are various ways of
Yeah.
education, even in this digital age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be watching YouTube videos, for example. It could be taking an online course. So if I don't know if that would know, there are different ways by which we acquire knowledge
Yeah.
in this day and age. So reading is not I wouldn't say reading is the most effective way, But as long as we are acquiring knowledge in whatever form, be it digital, physical, as long as you are just moving, you are acquiring knowledge. The format, the form, it could be audiobooks, it could be everything. But just make sure you are not stagnant. Make sure you are developing yourself. But for me, it's always been a mantra within my family growing up. Even I wrote a couple of essays around education, and the title was Education Makes All the Difference. Because with education you can conquer the world. An educated mind is a mind who can, is an enlightened mind. Enlightened, the way you would see things quite different. And so for me, I believe reading is great, but there are different ways. I wouldn't say it's the most effective, but it's one of the ways by which we can expand our knowledge base.
Right. So one of the things that we care about at the Urbane Bloke Experience part, there is self-improvement, self-awareness, and motivation. What motivates you?
What motivates me? So I think for me, motivation is, I think I am motivated to become a better version of myself. Motivated to be different, to be unique. Even within my writing, just staying true to my own unique voice, staying true to my own unique arts. I don't want to be a Derek Walcott wannabe. I don't want to be a Charles Bukowski wannabe.
Just so you know, I don't know the name.
Yes, all right. I don't want to be a photo. I don't want to be an imitation of the great writers who have traversed this path before me. I want people to find my books and say, yeah, this is Tolu Akinyemi. This, like, just know that Tolu is not trying to imitate anyone. So I'm motivated by the will to make a difference and to inspire others coming after me as well. If this guy could go all out to achieve one of these wonderful books, just to inspire the person out there, because I created all of this out of nothing. And I always say that if I didn't put pen to paper or the action, or like if I had all the ideas and they only remained ideas within me, we would not be looking at all these books here today. So for me, the motivation is just to inspire people, to let them know that it's also possible. If Tolu can write, if you have an idea you want to write as well, why not?
And anybody write?
Yeah, you just write. It's much more easier.
It's the way you just say you just write.
It's even easier in this day and age. Well, you don't really, if you don't have a laptop, you have your phone, just on the notes, you can start writing. But to write as well, maybe read extensively, read what other people are writing. That way it helps you, even just to understand, how, if I'm writing like a collection of short stories, how is it sectioned out? Where do I start? What do I need to write? Just to give you an idea of what people are writing, different writing styles. It's not to imitate anyone, but it's just for you to understand, like, okay, what are people writing? What's in vogue? What's going on out there? So I feel like, anyone can write, and so I think the motivation is just to inspire others that it's possible, and that you don't need to bend, you don't need to kowtow to the norm. So if there are gatekeepers or people who are gatekeeping within that industry, you can just start anyhow, do it your own way.
You can be a disruptor.
Yeah. So I think I was a disruptor. People just thought this guy just had a lot of like machinery behind him. He had access to resources. He could push himself. He could brand. He could do. But it's not. It's more than branding. It's not just about branding. To become a successful writer, author, it's not just about being able to brand yourself. It's not. You need more than that.
With identity.
Yeah, you need more. You need more than that. Creating an identity, a brand, like just everything. It's a summation of so many things to become successful. And for me, I wasn't even chasing success, but I think the one ingredient that stood out for me was just passion. I was passionate. And I used to say something when I started out. I say passion for me trumps ability. That is, if you're passionate about something, ignore the ability for now. Look at the passion. Let that passion drive you. Let it be the engine that motivates you day in, day out.
Right.
The passion would take you to where even your ability would never, like, you would not imagine your ability would take you to. So for me, I feel like passion, with ability, you can always become better, you can learn, you can read through reading, then you now become much more better. But for me, even I feel like as creatives,
Yeah.
we should not hide our vulnerabilities. It's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to start small. I see a lot of like creatives, a lot of, we've taken like 100 takes, we've taken like 1 million takes just to put out the perfect material.
Yeah.
You see writers who are now famous today, they are hiding their previous works because they don't want to, they are imperfect. They don't want people to see the journey.
Yeah.
But for me as a writer, I want to document
everything.
I want to document. I want you to know how I failed. I want you to know how I started. I want you to know how I started imperfect, so that way it will inspire you as well. That true on this journey, it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay not to be. It's okay to grow into it, into that person. It's okay to grow into purpose.
Just start the journey.
Yeah, just start it. But
just start the journey.
But people just want to show you the perfect lifestyle.
Already done.
And they want to
made.
erase their journey. They want to erase the vital parts where they were vulnerable, where they were not perfect. But for me, I feel like as a disruptor, let's document the process. Let's show them. Yeah, I see some other writers who are my mentees, but they now see other writers who are like my peers in the industry. And those ones are telling them that, they are saying, I will publish my book. I'm saying, no, don't do it. Because some of my peers are advising them to unpublish.
Yeah.
So because they feel my work is not that perfect, I say, no, it's okay. It's okay to be imperfect. The next one will be better. Yeah. Document the journey. Let people know that you did start perfect.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Start with what you have. Start somewhere, and you will grow along the way. So, but for me, I feel like people just want to show this perfect picture, but vulnerability is part of life. We have to be vulnerable to show others that, yes, even in our vulnerability, we are still human. And that's us admitting that we are humans, that it's okay to fail. But as long as you're failing forward, you are learning from your failures. So for me, just fail forward, learn from it. But it's okay. Fail. Nobody, you didn't kill anybody. The only thing you did was to fail.
It's okay.
It's okay. Fail, bro. Sis.
Oh my God.
Don't let anyone tell you otherwise that you cannot fail. Fail. It's okay. You're still human.
You mentioned something about vulnerability.
Yeah.
And majority of our listeners, people that watch this, they are men.
Yeah.
So how do you think men should navigate vulnerability?
Yeah, I think it's men and vulnerability is a dicey situation. And if from the work, I have a collection of short stories here titled Infalo of Silence. And the image of the front shows a man who says, be a man, women and children first. How can she beat you? Are you not a man? Men cannot be raped. You're lying. Real men don't cry. And this is a story about a man who is in a marriage, a very toxic and abusive marriage. And you can say a multitude of hands covering his mouth.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's afraid to speak. And he's dying in the inferno of silence. So I think men are in men are actually in a very vulnerable situation, because I feel like us men, we don't really like to share a lot, because we don't feel safe even with our fellow men. You don't want to be the one that would use your story to share examples.
For gist.
Yeah, for gist. or a pastor on the pulpit
Yeah.
say, "Oh, bro, this, bro."
But this time around, most times they're always discreet about like,
Yeah.
there's one brother.
There's
only one brother. But you will know that you are the brother. inside church, you'll be like, "But I told you this
is
thing."
confident.
Come on now.
Come on, don't do this to me, bro. So I think a lot of men, like, we find it really difficult to deal with vulnerability. And that's why we don't tend to share a lot. Even on a personal note, I share a couple of things with like maybe some friends, maybe personal friends and people who are close to me. And I feel like, oh, bro, the way they would amplify what you told them, I'm like, bro, that was not what happened. Like, seriously, they're not like twisting the narrative. Like, you told somebody something which wasn't bad, but the way they will not start painting it even back to you, then you don't have to start correcting them. Like, bro, that's not what happened. That was not what I told you. And I'm not like, even what I'm telling this person, do I feel safe, or should I be scared that
would it be used against me?
I've spoken to a leaking basket. You know, there are some people you tell something like, oh, they just call their next friend, like, this happened, that happened. If like, yeah, so I think us men, we are quite vulnerable and we don't like to share a lot, and it's because we don't like to be judged. We don't want people to, see us as weaklings. If you're in a toxic and abusive marriage and it's crazy out in there, you feel like, oh, let me just keep managing, because if I tell people this is what I'm going through, they will look at me in a certain type of way. They may think I'm a weak man and kind of those stuff. Yeah. So I think men are in a peculiar position. But for me, I was telling a friend of mine about 2 days ago, I said, I want us to be in a space whereby we men, I was telling him, oh, do you want, he wanted to buy one of my books to read. Then I was asking, do you have enough money? He said, at the moment, not so much. I said, okay, I can send it to you. He said, no, don't worry, this and that. I said, but I want us to be in a position whereby we can be more open to ourselves. We need more of a community. I told you, I want to be in a space whereby you can come to me and say, oh, Tolu, can you borrow me some money, and I'll be in a position to borrow you that money. And I want to have friends who are rich. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy and be able to bless my people around me. And I want to be in the midst of people. It's so bad, like, for maybe, let me just say, just look at your contact list. Do you have friends that, if you need, say, £5,000, do you have anybody who can borrow you £5,000? Do you have anyone who can borrow you 2,000? Do you have anyone who can borrow you £1,000?
But is that a measure for friendship?
It's not a measure for friendship, but what I'm looking at is like, when you're vulnerable, when you're your lowest, we don't have that community,
Right.
which is really bad. We don't really have people we could like run to when we are in very difficult situations, which is really bad. You don't want to be in a situation whereby maybe you're financially vulnerable and going bankrupt almost immediately, because when you look at your close circle, everybody is just all about themselves. Nobody cares about the other. So I was telling my friend, like, I want that community. My dad, like, seeing my dad, like, as an example, he had friends that can just say, just use this 10 million and pay me back in 3-6 months time without interest. He had that sort of circle. I want to have that sort of circle whereby I can borrow something. And well, I have friends that when people come to, maybe I borrow someone money or stuff, I had a friend who was saying, oh, Togo, I can borrow you some money and stuff, but you need to sign an agreement. I'm like, don't worry, I don't do agreement, because if I want to even borrow someone money, I do it on trust. I don't do it based
Really? Have you not had bad experience?
Yeah, so someone was not telling me that maybe it's based on bad experiences.
Yeah.
But for me, I would maybe stand on my own convictions that this is what I don't do and this is what I will not have someone do to me as well. So I have convictions in that sort of way as well. So, but for me, I want us to, as men, I want us to have a community of successful individuals within our community as well, so that it's not like, oh, you are in a vulnerable situation, and even not just in terms of financial, even you can talk to me and I can give you solid advice.
Right.
You can be vulnerable to me. You can tell me,
Share what you're going through.
share what you're going through without being judged. And for me, I have friends like that can just talk. He can tell me what's going on in his own personal relationship. I can share mine without feeling like, oh, anyone will judge you. And at times, even having sounding boards, people you can sound situation off can actually help you not to make mistakes as well. So for me, I think as men, we are very vulnerable. We don't be perceived as being weak. So we don't talk a lot, and because of that, just that showing that we are strong, a lot of times then we are weak, but we're just masking it. We are masquerading, showing that we are what we are not.
Yeah.
But men in the law of safe spaces, within the law of safe spaces, we can talk about our issues, talk about our situations. I'm real brothers that we can share what we are going through with, who will not judge us.
Yeah. That's one of the things that is one of the objectives of Urbane Bloke Experience. It's one of the reasons why we started this podcast. I want everybody that will come in to share their experiences, and anybody that will listen will be able to pick and relate to it. Will be coming from a genuine place. Will be coming from your own genuine experience, so people can learn from it.
Yeah, I think it's really good what the Urbane Bloke podcast is doing. And for me, I feel like when we talk about today's society, people will say, "Oh, I have mental health issues. I'm depressed. People are depressed. They have mental health issues because there's no community.
Yeah.
It's because you have no one to like. People are living like in isolation. No one to talk to. No one to share anything with. You from work, come back home, isolation, no community. We need to be the community, and we need to do a better job even within that community, empowering ourselves so that and just making the community a safe space. Because
keyword safe.
Yeah. I have some friends or maybe a couple of friends who will say they are judgmental. If you have a friend who they are quite judgmental, you can't share. Because if that friend is judgmental, whatever you're sharing with them, they are not matured enough. They just judge you straight away, and you get.
On this topic, I have something very important to say, and it's unpopular.
Okay.
But I feel like we should start using emotional intelligence as part of the yardstick we use in determining friendship or when selecting or building a relationship with your friend. And I know almost everybody has that one person that will just talk anyhow.
Yeah.
That will just say anything.
Yeah.
And they'll claim as, I'm just being real with you.
Yeah.
I'm just giving it to you straight. But you giving it to me straight, you are being rude. You are being judgmental. You lack the emotional intelligence that it takes to have this conversation. I even think that is more of a problem of creating a safe space.
Yeah, it is.
Because when I come to you and I share my experience, what I'm going through, and we're talking about it, and the way you just dissect it, the way you've just talked about it, is more of like, okay, let me be real with you.
Yeah.
It lacks empathy.
Yeah.
It lacks emotional. Like, it was just more, you just open your mouth. And just drop it. Like, you didn't allow it to go through filter. Like, it is how I want to talk to this person.
Yeah.
All of that. So I think, honestly, and I think there was a time that we didn't care about it.
Yeah.
But the more I grow now, I want to be able to have conversation with people that I'm building and I have relationship with about certain things. And I would know for a fact that, yes, I'm not saying romance my ego.
Yeah.
I'm not saying treat me like a kid. But the emotional intelligence it takes to have a deep conversation, suggest whatever you want to suggest, and still go ahead with it is very, 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 very important. And I think it's a important thing that we should look out for when we are picking friends.
Yeah, for me, I feel like not just even picking friends, every part of society, like, for me, I just say you could be educated, have a PhD, but you like emotional intelligence. So, like, for me, I feel like it's something everybody needs to have, be emotionally intelligent, not just feel like, or just behave anyhow.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that you could have everything, and when you don't have in where I come from, call it native intelligence. Like just there are things that before you do something, give it a thought. Don't just be unruly. Don't feel like because you've achieved in your own eyes, you've achieved a lot, you can stamp roughshod on others. You lack empathy. You lack care. So for me, I feel like I totally agree with him. Like that's a main stumbling block. Able to creating a safe space as well, where we have people who do not have that emotional intelligence, move to dissect issues. We just look at issues on the surface without like clarity of thoughts or having any degree of care to be able to offer proper solutions. So, well, we need a community, we need a safe space for me.
Do you think people can learn it? Can you learn emotional intelligence?
Yeah, for me, there's nothing you cannot learn. So,
How do you learn it? What would be the first step to emotional intelligence 101?
yeah, so I think as the word goes, emotional intelligence. So before you display any form of, or before you act, like you tell me something now, my response should be intuitive. I should take time out to process it. It shouldn't just be feelings based. It shouldn't just be emotions based. Like, not just giving a thought to the feeling of the other person. So, like, there are just some things that I would even intertwine it with, like, cultural, be culturally minded. I would look at it that way, having that native intelligence.
Is there anything you're working on right now? Any exciting project we should be looking out for?
One forthcoming children's literature, the one I'm co-authoring with my kids. Yes, so Amanda the Bookworm.
Amanda the Bookworm.
Amanda the Bookworm. Yeah, just a book to promote natural intelligence over like artificial intelligence, encouraging young people to get invested in reading and in, invested in reading. You all like young children, just helping seeing the benefit of reading and helping them to pick that up from a very young age as well.
Right. So if anybody wants to reach out to you or get any of your books, how would they do that?
Yeah, I'm on my author website, Tolutoludo.com. That's TOLUTOLUDO.com. Tolutoludo.com. My publisher has imprint the Lion of Newcastle.com. Also, you can check out on Amazon, Ingram Sparks, and everywhere else where books are sold as well.
All right. And finally, before we wrap up, right, what is the one thing you would tell everybody listening right now?
One thing.
Yeah. It could be anything.
Yeah, so go all out for your dreams. Yeah, go all out for your dreams. We all have like packs of dreams. I would say unravel your hidden gems. We all have gems hidden within us, which we need to unravel. So if you're out there listening, unravel that hidden gems.
That looks good.
Yeah, unravel your hidden gems. Yeah, we all have hidden gems. We all have gems within us that we just need to let it out for the world to see. And there's a lot that we can do if only we unravel the gems within us. At a point in time, all these books were gems within, so I unravel them, and yeah. So I would encourage everyone watching, listening. You have those gems, and also maybe the other one, awaken your inner lion, which is also like similar to that as well. So just awaken the lion within, awaken your inner lion. So that's my final words.
Right.
This.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I've had so much fun talking to you on this point. So for the last time, right, we're going to, excuse me, let me adjust my nose so we can do this the proper way.
Yeah.
As you go, so I'm going to end, and then we'll end with the raw.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you go through your week, as you go through your day, always remember to stay refined, stay intentional, and most importantly, be obey. Now, 1, 2, 3, go. See ya.